The crisp autumn air caressed my skin as I trudged through the deep woods, completely unaware of the horrors that lay ahead. As the day crept on, the lingering sunlight flickered through the tall trees, casting an eerie shadow on the path ahead. The ground beneath me was rocky and uneven, making each step treacherous and unpredictable. As I rounded the corner, I spotted it, an old abandoned cabin that was hidden amongst the trees. At first glimpse, the cabin seemed peaceful and serene. The wooden framework peeling off paint, rusted hinges creaking in the winds. However, something about the cabin made my skin crawl, as though the very walls of the place were haunted by something unseen and sinister. With a heavy breath, I approached the cabin, pushing the front door open and stepping inside. A chill ran down my spine as my eyes adjusted to the dim lighting, and I could feel an unexplainable heaviness in the air. It was then that I noticed the journal lying on an old wooden table in the center of the room. I cautiously walked towards it, feeling my nerves tingling with anticipation and the overwhelming need to see what was written inside. As I flipped through the pages, a deep sense of horror consumed me. The journal was filled with detailed accounts of murders that had taken place right there in the cabin. The chill that had been creeping up my spine intensified as I realized that I was standing in the exact same spot where these horrific acts of violence had occurred. Stunned and disturbed, I continued reading the journal, my heart racing with each new detail. The author was a cold-blooded serial killer who would lure his victims to the cabin, massacring them in cold blood. Each page was filled with twisted tales of torture and unimaginable brutality. As I read through the journal, I realized that I had chanced upon something that no one was meant to discover. I hastily pocketed the journal, hastily grabbing whatever supplies I could find before fleeing the eerily hollow cabin. My heart beating wildly, I stumbled back onto the path, still clutching the journal close to my chest. A rustle in the bushes caught my attention, and I froze in terror. Was it the killer, hidden somewhere in the woods, watching me? As fear threatened to overwhelm me, I realized that it didn't matter if anyone believed me or not. The journal was proof enough that something terrible had happened in that cabin and that I had chanced upon it by accident. Without warning, I heard the sound of footsteps approaching from behind me. I spun around frantically, my eyes scanning the area for the source of the sound. In that moment, I knew that the killer was out there hunting for his next victim. Pushing back the urge to panic, I pushed myself to run faster, sprinting through the woods as fast as my legs would carry me. With every step, I felt the fear and adrenaline coursing through my veins, driving me to move faster and faster. As I broke through the edge of the woods, safe from the danger that lurked within, I knew that I had walked away from something truly horrific. I may have been lucky to have survived that encounter, but the scars of that day would remain with me forever. The journal was something that I could never forget. It would forever serve as a constant reminder of the terrible atrocities that had happened in that cabin. Though I would always look back on that day with a sense of dread and fear, I knew that I had come out of the experience stronger and with a deep gratitude for the precious gift